We have made it to Civana Wellness Spa and Resort, and let me just say, first impressions, this place is absolutely stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I checked in a little early, so check-in is usually at 4, but I got here around like 1:15 because I had signed up for a class at 2. So you can start taking like the classes and enjoying the resort prior to your room being ready. But luckily for me, my room was ready when I got here, and I was so happy because now I can kind of just unpack. Right now I'm dressed for yoga that I have later on, but I think I'm gonna put on my swimsuit so I can go lay out by the pool. But I kind of want to give like my first rundown experience of the last 2 hours. So I checked in, everyone was really nice. Also can get a copy of your itinerary of the classes that you've booked so far and the events that you've booked so far. And then you get this little journal. It says go explore, and basically it has like writing prompts. It has like different activities that you can do outside of like the classes. So I did finish my first class so far, and absolutely I'm so happy that first of all I paid attention the whole time. I have ADHD, y'all, but that's how I know like when my mind is very like interested in something, I can be focused. I can be hyper focused because I was like taking notes on all these different questions that I had. And I was like, I am not trying to spend an hour of this lady's time outside of a class that was already an hour and a half asking her questions. But more about the class in a minute. You get a discovery map as well. First of all, the staff is very nice. They will definitely help you and answer all your questions. And they're adequately staffed from what I can see. Like they have a lot of people available to talk to you and ask questions and like get you where you need to go and what you want. But yeah, throughout the property, they have, I think it's a couple pools. I think they have 2 pools, right? Yeah, they have 2 pools. They have like quiet zones. Overall, through the resort, they encourage you to like not talk on the phone or like be on speakerphone if you are on the phone. They prefer that you text, no loud music, no, like your phone should be on silent so it's not ringing out loud. I will say it's definitely very quiet. So the class that I took was the mind mapping, learning communication styles to create better rapport in your relationships and career. I know, a lot to say, but it was an hour-and-a-half class with a woman named Heather Luna, and it was amazing. So we go in, and there was like a little assessment waiting for us, and you're taking a little assessment and you basically find out about what type of, I guess like your preferred representation system. So I won't get too deep into it, but basically, are you a visual person, an auditory person, a kinesthetic person, or an auditory digital person? So it's just a little brief synopsis on the front about what the exam is supposed to be assessing essentially. And it's like a very modified exam. So it's not like an end all be all type of exam. And then you answer like some questions, and then you like rate the questions 1 through 4, and then you add all those numbers up at the end, and it'll tell you what type of person you are. So like, for example, a question is, when vacationing at the beach, the first thing that makes me glad to be there is A, the cool sand, the warm sun, or the fresh breeze, B, the roar of the waves, the whistling of the birds, C, that this is the type of vacation where the cost is reasonable, or D, the scenery, the bright sun, and the blue water. And so then you'll rate each one of those 1 through 4. 4 is most like you, and then 1 is least like you. So yeah, you do that all the way through. And then you fill in the little table on the back. Don't mind my little crammed in notes at the bottom. But I learned so much to the point where like I kind of want to dive into this more on my own, whether it's like today while I'm at the pool or tomorrow. And it's so crazy because when I was in the class, I just had a moment where I was just like, I'm literally supposed to be using all of this time to learn about me and to reset and to reconnect and disconnect. And I was like, I brought my laptop with me because I thought I was going to edit videos. And that's not to say that I can't, but like, I don't think that this is the time for me to be doing that. So with that being said, I'm definitely going to be behind on the uploads, but I really enjoyed the experience. It kind of had me questioning. So I tested for being a kinesthetic person, and then also I kind of tied with auditory, digital, and visual. And I was just learning like how these things interact with like my relationships with my friends versus like my relationships, like so platonic versus romance, and then how I am at work versus like at home with family, or at home with a partner, or at home with a friend, like. And then also I was trying to connect like things like with like my mental health, so in regards to like me having ADHD and a history of anxiety, and then also trying to connect it to like my love language and how I show up for others in my life that are different than me on this scale. It was like a lot. It's a lot. And an hour and a half was obviously like, that was enough time for you to kind of get like, you know, a good foundation on it, and obviously take it to where you want to go next. But yeah, I'm really happy that I took that class. I'm happy that like I went ahead and signed up for it, because it was definitely something that I needed, and it's something that I'm working on as well, but I also didn't know where to start, and now I do. I am headed to my yoga class right now, and as every time I come out of the building, I'm in awe of like how beautiful this place is. But again, this is your reminder to pack your sunscreen, because I think my forehead has a little bit of burn on it, but it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully the tan underneath will be worth it. Hopefully. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today is my first full day here at the Civana Resort Wellness and Spa, and wellness resort and spa. And this morning I woke up very early. I had no intention of waking up this early. It's actually still early. It's 6:51. I woke up at like 5:20, 25, somewhere around there, maybe 5:30, with no alarm. Like, I set my alarm this morning for around 8:30, because I was like, well, I want to try to not put any pressure on myself to get up for the sunrise. Like, I'll just sleep in and rest. I know it's been like a busy like 2 days or whatever. So yeah, so like 5:25, 5:30 comes around, and I just get up and I look out the window. Like, I felt like someone was waking me up, and to me, it felt like a little angel was waking me up, telling me to go outside, because I knew I wanted to see the sunrise, but I didn't want to put pressure on myself to see the sunrise. But I really like seeing the sunrises, like especially when the views are really stunning, like in the mountains or like the desert. And I just got up. I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel restless or anything. I literally just got up, ran outside, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm in my PJs. Now there is no dress code here, but like I'm still in my PJs. So I'd like put my robe on and went and sat outside, and it was so peaceful. I was like, I don't want to leave. I can say so far, I definitely see like why people come here and stay for like a week, or come here like once every few months or a few times a year. Cause like I've been hearing different people say like how often they come and stay. And I'm just like, honestly, it's kind of like the ability to create your own retreat. Like, I know I have not been on a retreat before, but I really want to go on one. But what I struggle with is like being able to do or have access to all the things that I want to do. And here, I feel like there's over like 100 classes. Now they do vary per week in schedule, and like teachers and like the courses change. But like, if you want to plan your trip based on a certain week, of course. But overall, in general, I feel like there's so many things you can do. There's aerial yoga, there's horseback riding, there's kayaking, there's paddleboarding, there's kundalini yoga, there's dynamic flow yoga, there's vinyasa, there's power, there's Pilates, there's HIIT workouts, there's pickleball, there's tennis, like there's workshops. So for like manifestation, for journaling, for intimacy, for healing like your childhood trauma, or like healing your inner child, breaking down communication barriers, like honestly, there's so many classes, and that's just like barely touching the surface. That's basically just what I've seen offered for like my time here. Like I was looking at the schedule like over a course of months when I was considering visiting this hotel, and I did not plan this trip around a certain schedule, because I don't even know if you can plan it around a certain schedule, like how far out they post the schedule. But either way, I just feel like you can pick your itinerary here, like, and choose exactly what you want to do. And I think so far what I've seen, like, this is a good hotel or like a good resort for any type of traveler. Like if you're a solo traveler, I feel very safe here. Everyone's really nice and polite. If you're a person who's like traveling as a couple, if you're a person that like you're traveling with friends, I will say like this resort can meet the needs of anyone. So like if you're an adventure traveler and you want to go hiking in the desert for 2.5 hours, or you want to go like on that, it's like a bathing in the desert experience where like you go and you hike for like 2 miles, and I'm assuming they take you to like some form of water in the desert, and you all take like a bath or whatever in that water where it's like a cleansing experience. Or like you want to go paddleboarding, or you want to go hiking. Or if you're a person who like just wants to relax and decompress, there's the spa. If you just want to hang out at the pool, if you're a person who needs to get your workouts in, you can go to the gym. You don't necessarily have to do like Pilates or power yoga or HIIT workouts. Like if you're a bookworm, you just want to find somewhere to read in a little nook, they have hammocks, which I'm going to go visit today. And there's little chairs around where it's like little swing sets that you can sit in. Like I really feel like this resort is like good for anyone. From what I can tell, I have not seen any children. I don't know if children are allowed here. I know this is a no pet hotel, and I haven't seen any children, so I don't know for sure if children are allowed here. But I know it's not considered adults only, because I saw like for the spa services, you just have to be 16 or older. Yeah. But so far it's been very quiet, like super quiet. Everyone's like very mindful and respectful of like the quiet zones around the I was gonna say campus, the quiet zones around the resort. People aren't like loud talking on the phone. There's no loud music playing at the pool or like people on speakerphone. Like everyone's very mindful. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like you see people here, but it's like you kind of feel like you're in your own little world as well. Because like you have no idea what that person has planned for today. Like they could be going out and go like on a crazy excursion. And some of the excursions you don't even have to do through this resort. Obviously, like you still have access to the outside world and like downtown Carefree, where like there's other like I guess like vendor agencies or providers where you can do like ATV in the desert or whatever you want to do. But I really like it here. I definitely so far feel like I would come back. Last night I had dinner at Terrace, what's it called? The restaurant. I can't even get it out. I'm going to go there for breakfast, but I went there for dinner last night, And I will say the service was a little bit slow. I don't know if it's because it was very crowded outside, like, because there was no one sitting inside. Everyone was sitting outside, and I actually got the last outside table. I don't know if it was that or if it's just like they just move very slow here, like to kind of like help you unwind. But I was tired and I was ready to get into bed. I just wanted to order something like light to eat and go to bed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film much because as my food started to arrive, like the sun was already starting to set. So I didn't get to film much, but I started with the Heart of Palm crab cake, which is basically a vegetarian crab cake. And oh my gosh, it was amazing. I could probably eat that every day while I'm here. The flavors were really good. I had the Jim baby Caesar. It was like a grilled baby Jim lettuce Caesar salad, grilled Caesar salad of some sort. Did not like it. I don't know. The Caesar dressing didn't taste like Caesar dressing. And I've never had a grilled salad before. And I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I didn't think it would be so soggy. So that's on me for not like really paying attention that it was a grilled salad. Because honestly, romaine lettuce is very wet already. So I don't know why you would grill it. Because I would assume like you would just, grilling it would pull out the water and make it soggy, right? Because I'm thinking that the water inside keeps the leaves crispy. I don't know, I'm not a chef, but I wouldn't get that again. I did have the corn poblano soup. They have a daily seasonal soup each day, and that was the one for yesterday, and it was amazing. It was really good. So I'm happy I got that, and then I had like bread and butter with it as well. And I have a very full schedule today. My first class is at 10 o'clock, so let's go and get the day started. And we put on our sunscreen, we put it all over our body and our shoulders, because I'm wearing this today, which is this purple lavender Aerie set that I got. Love Aerie. You can't even see. My room is absolutely a mess, but it shows I've been living in it. But yeah, this is the set that I'm wearing today, and I'm gonna wear my sandals because I'm probably going to go walking the labyrinth today. We're gonna figure out which one it is. It's either labyrinth or labyrinth. I can't remember, but we're gonna find out. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, and it is my last morning day here at the Civana Wellness Resort and Spa, and it's a little after 6. Yeah, it's about 6:15, and I'm in a crazy space right now because I feel so well rested and awake and alive right now. I feel great. But my Aura Ring metrics in the toilet. So this morning, my readiness score was a 64. I don't know how this is happening. And apparently I only got 5 hours of sleep last night. But I feel fine. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a time zone thing. I don't know if it's an energy shift thing. I don't know if it's a combination. But yesterday was very, very tiring. It was emotionally tiring, mentally tiring, physically tiring. It was just tiring, but like still like what I needed. Yesterday was a very full itinerary. I started with the inner intimacy workshop with Veronica, and then I did her journaling workshop, journaling of the 8 desires, and then I did a intention burning ceremony followed by a sound bath. And you can imagine that by the time I got to the sound bath, I've had so many thoughts and revelations and discoveries about myself that I couldn't even quiet my mind during the sound bath. My body was resting, but my mind just could not. And usually a sound bath, I've done them so often or so frequent that I've gotten to a point where I can actually get into that state of between awake and unconsciousness, like float in that little space in between. Because before I used to just go to sleep, but I'm able to get to a point in meditation where I can like be in that little space in between. But yesterday I was just physically resting, but mentally I was just very much so all over. I'm very like distracted by all the morning wildlife happening in front of me right now. But today is my last day and I'm feeling a little weird. I'm feeling a little anxious. I'm feeling a little sad. I'm feeling a little happy. I'm feeling sad because essentially I'm leaving paradise. Like, it's so beautiful out here, so beautiful. I'm happy because I came and I've experienced what I was looking for. I got the encounter that I was looking for. I got the catalyst that I needed for change in my life. And I'm anxious because outside of the flying part, I haven't even thought about the flight. And y'all know how I am about flying. I haven't even thought about that part. I am anxious because going back home means that I'm in the environment that caused the problems. Not necessarily like my actual apartment that I'm in now, but like being back in reality. I'll be back. Well, I'm not going back to work this week, tomorrow, but it'll be about prepping for the work week, catching up with my friends, and like kind of back to like your day-to-day life. And I don't want to lose the momentum that I've gained and that I've had about learning so much about myself and actually facing the problems and tackling what I want in my life. And I've gotten so much insight and I've learned a lot about myself in just the few days that I was here. I can't even imagine the transformation or even the weight of the transformation that could have taken place if I stayed here for a week. But I think that these 2 nights here were perfect. I feel like it was just the perfect amount of time to give me enough momentum to be interested in myself, wanting to identify what I'm good at, what I'm not good at, where I need work, where I need support, where I can be better. Identify where I want to go in my life, who I want to be, and who I no longer want to be. Good morning, or I guess afternoon. I have just finished my last, no, it's morning still because it's like a little after 11. I have just finished my last workshop of my time here at Civana, and honestly, this is probably one of the most life-changing vacations I've ever been on. I feel so aware and connected and seen and in community, even with a group of strangers. Like the level of participation and vulnerability that we've all shared like through these different workshops have been so refreshing and encouraging, because honestly, out of every experience in life, like you get what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And each person like showed up looking to have an encounter and an experience and a transformation. And it's so motivating because it's like, you're not alone in life, because you see the people moving around you, you hear the people around you, you have friends, you have family, and they're sharing their experiences. But when it's, for some reason, like when it comes to dealing with your own emotions, at least for me, I feel like I'm so alone in what I'm feeling. And today's workshop that I did, so I did a morning meditation at 7:15, and then I did breakfast, and then I went to dynamic yoga with Anton Mackey, I believe it's his name. Again, I'll have everyone's names in the description, but I did his dynamic yoga class, and then I also did his like I am class workshop. And even yoga was kind of just transformative for me, because I'm getting back into my practice after taking so much time off, and the disconnect that I felt with like having surgery and things like that, and being disconnected after completing a teacher training program. And yoga looks like and can be so many different things. Like it doesn't look one way. And that teaching and going through teacher training, but as a practitioner who's in between like two different spaces, it's like a struggle. But when we went to the workshop today, it was really nice. I feel like it was very reflective to learn about the question that comes up a lot for me during my time here has been like, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And I got to answer it today. And I got to work through a lot of emotions and feelings, and like the negative words that I use to describe myself that keep me from being who I want to be, and like identifying the words that I see in other people that I want to embody. And he actually gave us the next steps of like how we can become who we are. And just a reminder that we're trying to unlearn and reprogram and override a system that has been in place for so long. Like for me personally, I've been dealing with a lot of things since I was a kid. And now at this big age, like 30 years later, a lot of this stuff still sits with me. And so it's like, I was always so afraid of how much time it was going to take me to move forward. And today, and this whole time here, really has been like reassuring in that it's going to take time, and that's okay, because it took time to get you to this point. So it's going to take time to unlearn and to rewire and to recalibrate. And each day, with each decision, it's going to push me either closer to who I am and who I want to be, or push me into the direction of where I no longer want to be, or those words of like criticism, basically. So overall, I'll say my experience in here has been so amazing. I'm having my last smoothie before I hit the road. And I want to come back. I really just feel like this week, this week, because the classes are always rotating, the facilitators are always rotating. I just felt like it was very intentional and very much so God's timing for me to be here for these specific workshops, for me to encounter exactly what I have been looking for. And I do plan on reaching out to some of the facilitators just to see about working with them one-on-one and like some of their retreats and like just to continue, because one thing that Anton brought up today in our workshop was that we all need an accountability partner, and your accountability partner cannot be your partner in life, your romantic partner or your friends or your family, because they aren't going to hold you to the same standard of who you actually want to be like your accountability partner would, who's kind of like objective, if that makes sense. So like the example he gave in class today was about if his wife shared something with him and he listened and he kept his eye contact with her and kept his heart open for the whole 30-minute story. He can't tell his wife at the end of the day, today I listened to you the whole time. She would be like, well, that's what you're supposed to do as my husband. But if you called your accountability partner and told them, they'd give you a high five and tell you how far you've come and remind you of what you've accomplished and where you're going and how that's changing you to be closer to who you are. And I'm like, it's very true. Like, your friends do enable you. And it's not because they don't want the best for you or want better for you. It's just because they're human as well. And they're trying to feel better about what they have going as well. Like, and that's true. Sometimes you kind of just have to look outward and seek help outside of your regular circle. So I say all that to say that I've really enjoyed my time here at Civana, and I'll be back. I don't know when I'll be back, but I know I'll be back. And I'm hoping that the next time that I come, that it's just as transformational as this experience, if not more. And maybe I'll learn and target a different level of self during that trip. And I definitely have been spreading the word to my friends and family. Like, you would love it. You would love it here. You would love it here. You should come. Let's come. Let's come back. Let's do this. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, I think this is an experience that everyone should experience. So I'm very happy with my decision. I'm very happy with what I've learned about myself. I'm very happy and I'm excited and a little anxious about what's to come. And I'm learning to like disconnect from the word anxiety and anxious. So I'm interested in what's to come in regards to my next steps in actually doing the work. Now that I've identified like what the problem is, and I've identified like what the end result I want, I need to figure out what the work is to get there, and like where do I start and how do I take the first step? Well, how do I take the next steps? I think this was my first step. I think I need to know like how do I take the next step in my day-to-day, because obviously my day-to-day life isn't living out in the desert. Thankfully, because my hair, my skin, I cannot wait to get home specifically for my products. Not for anything else, specifically for my products. But obviously in my day-to-day life, I have like work and I have classes and I have workouts and friends and family. Compared to here, it's just been me and the desert and the wildlife and the nature. Yeah. I am excited for what's to come. And with that being said, that is where I am going to end this vlog. Thank you so, so much for joining me on this journey and spending time with me here at Civana Wellness Resort and Spa. And I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found it inspiring. I hope you found it encouraging. I hope it sparked curiosity for you as well, to learn more about yourself and to dive into a deeper level of self, and maybe to explore those areas that you tend to push down a little bit more in your day-to-day. But thank you. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video.